game over for a proposed AI data center.
I didn't want to live beside it. Nobody wanted to. Our whole community didn't want to live beside it.
Why Wabcanoe is pulling the plug on a project near Ile-des-Chênes. Also tonight, cracking down on fare evasion.
Can't expect the drivers to enforce this. It's too dangerous.
A new report shows the latest challenges for Winnipeg Transit. And later, meet the Manitoba man with 46 million reasons to smile.
CTV News. Live from downtown Winnipeg with Taylor Brock.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Daniel Halmerson. An arrest tonight in a series of sexual assaults which mainly targeted underage girls, and police say they all took place on a single day in St. Boniface. Investigators allege the spree started when a man confronted two teenage girls walking near Horace Street and Desmurin Street on May 25th. Police say the 67-year-old man approached them, started to grab them, and sexually assaulted them in the process. The girls escaped, but the man followed until they sought help at a nearby school. Not long after, police say the same suspect went to a school where kids were out for recess and commented on the appearance of a group of young girls. They ran away and told school staff about what had happened. Minutes later, police say the man then approached a woman in her 20s who was mowing her lawn in the Archwood neighborhood. They say the man grabbed the lawnmower and sexually assaulted the woman. She was able to escape and called police. The 67-year-old suspect was arrested shortly after 1 p.m. in the 400 block of Edgewood Street. He's charged with 3 counts of sexual assault and was released with conditions. The charges have not been tested in court. Winnipeg police continue to investigate and ask anyone with information to call the Sex Crimes Unit. Manitoba Premier Wabcanoe says the province's mobile supervised consumption site is on track to open.
It's going to open this month.
Wabcanoe confirmed the timeline for the mobile site earlier today. He also says a permanent supervised consumption site won't be ready for several more months. In May, Addictions Minister Bernadette Smith said the director and some staff had already been hired for the mobile site, with interviewing underway for peer mentors and clinical staff. Aboriginal Health and Wellness will run the facility, which will allow people to inject drugs in the trailer with staff on hand to respond to overdoses. It could be game over for a large AI data center project near Ile-des-Chênes. Premier Wabcanoe is saying no to the plan, which would have seen the center rise on 350 acres of land southeast of Winnipeg. But as CTV's Jeff Keel shows you, the Premier says the risks outweigh the benefits.
Premier Wabcanoe is rejecting a plan to build an AI data center southeast of Winnipeg.
The idea of a hyperscale data center? No.
Jet AI and Consensus Corps secured purchase agreements for 350 acres north of Ile-des-Chênes. Data centers are typically large facilities which house vast networks of servers needed for computing and networking infrastructure. Now, the Premier says the environmental risks outweigh the economic benefits for this project, and he points to the power this type of data center requires.
If we could do 100 Selkirk steel mills or a data center, which one is going to create more long-term benefits? Which one is going to create more happiness? Which one's going to create more jobs and careers?
There is happiness for people who live near the site following Canoe's decision.
We're extremely happy to hear everything that he had to say this morning. It was really unexpected.
Christy Little started a petition against the plan. She has concerns about the loss of farmland and potential air, water, and noise pollution.
I didn't want to live beside it. Nobody wanted to. Our whole community didn't want to live beside it.
Consensus Core Technologies CEO Wayne Lloyd tells CTV News in a statement they look forward to reviewing the Premier's comments and a robust engagement process. Lloyd says this proposal is different than other compute projects as it will create a significant number of well-paying union jobs, will generate and store its own energy, and add millions of dollars of tax revenue. Consensus Core remains committed to ensuring this generational investment benefits all Manitobans in the current economy and for decades to come. The Manitoba Chambers of Commerce was surprised by the decision. It says the province needs to set clear parameters around what is an acceptable size for a data center.
We know that this is not going away, that there's going to be other projects that are going to be looking at Manitoba as a potential, and I think what we don't want to be doing is driving away investment.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The Premier says there is room for data centers in Manitoba, pointing out we already have them, and he predicts there will be more. A Lemay Forest protester has now paid her contempt of court fine, but says the fight isn't over yet.
The fact is we won, and that's what's most important.
This morning, Louise May delivered a check for $15,000 to the lawyer representing the development company. In February 2025, May was found in contempt for breaching an injunction requiring protesters to allow crews access to the forest. The fine was paid through community fundraising, and May says the additional money raised will be used to help others and for the ongoing challenge to the Manitoba Professional Planner Institute.
There are still other legal cases that are up, and we will be doing this for another couple years, I think.
The province expropriated Lemay Forest in April. A former leadership candidate for Manitoba's Progressive Conservatives will not be allowed to run again for the party. The PCs announced Wally Doddridge will not be able to seek nomination under the party's banner in the riding of Turtle Mountain. Doddridge previously announced his intentions to seek the nomination, and according to social media posts, he's already been out campaigning in the area. No reason was provided for why Doddridge won't be able to seek nomination. Doyle Panuke is the current PC MLA for the area. He's not seeking re-election. Doddridge went head-to-head with Tory leader Obby Khan in last year's leadership race, narrowly losing the contest. Manitoba's next election is scheduled for 2027. CTV News has reached out to Doddridge for comment. Winnipeg transit riders are weighing in with their safety concerns tonight. It comes as a new city report shows just how many people aren't paying to ride. CTV's Joseph Bernacki reports.
Winnipeg's Brent LaRose says he still doesn't feel safe taking the bus around the city. He is still recovering from an attack while he was on board a city bus in February.
I sit on the bus differently. I don't sit with my back to the passengers. I sit towards the front.
LaRose says he still has to take the bus multiple times a week. A new report from the City of Winnipeg aims to improve safety on transit buses with a shift towards focusing on fare evasion. City data shows that between January 1st and April 20th, the community safety team intervened a total of 20,326 times. This includes 8,816 people denied a ride, 6,313 walkaways, 4,029 warnings, and 1,168 instances where passengers chose to pay.
I think the numbers are pretty impressive for a small team that we have, and we've really been putting a focused effort on education and awareness.
Robert Christmas, lead for the team, says the city has put 30 community safety officers on buses since 2024. He says there has been a shift since July of last year, strengthening their team's presence on buses to help crack down on fare evasion. Still, LaRose says more work needs to be done to help the bus drivers working in stressful conditions.
Can't expect the drivers to enforce this. It's too dangerous. I've seen drivers try, and they get berated. And I have seen guys get on the bus smoking cigarettes with just throwing a beer can on the ground, get on the bus and say, I have no money to pay. It doesn't make sense to me.
LaRose says he has yet to see an officer on board a bus he's taken, and other riders feel the same. Vlad Virmenko takes the bus several times a day. 7 months ago, he was in shock when he got on board a city bus.
One day on the bus, I was threatened with a knife, that if I'm not going to give the money to the guy, he's just going to stab me. So I was supposed to give him my wallet because I was like, oh, I don't want to get stabbed. I prefer to give him my $50 and I'm just going to make them back on the next day.
Christmas says his small team is working hard, trying to patrol more than 600 buses in the city.
We are in a crisis of meth and unsheltered people living in impoverished conditions. So we're trying to approach problems, getting at the root causes.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Public Works Chair Janice Luke says it's not clear how much the city has lost to fare evasion. She says more provincial investment could bolster the number of community safety officers. Winnipeg's trees are finally in bloom, but we aren't the only ones enjoying the green canopy. Tree pest caterpillars are once again emerging, starting next week, the city will be spraying for the pests. Crews will start spraying Monday night in the following areas: Munro West, Rossmere, Jefferson, Kildonan Park, and Seven Oaks. They'll focus on boulevards, city parks, and cemeteries for the next 4 weeks. Spraying will happen on weekdays, weather permitting. And here's our first look at tonight's weather. About 14 degrees outside in Winnipeg right now under mainly clear skies. The wind out of the northwest at 16. Pressure rising and the humidity sitting at 93%. We'll dip down just a couple degrees down to 12 tonight. There is a chance of some fog patches developing overnight with the winds still out of the northwest at 15 and waking up to much of the same tomorrow. 14 degrees in the morning, mostly cloudy, and those winds sticking around northwest 15. I'll have your complete Skywatch forecast coming up.
Those exports are at risk if we don't have the protection of the trade agreement.
Manitobans take their trade pitches to Washington, coming up why the province is establishing a presence south of the border. If you own a home or business in Winnipeg, a letter detailing your property's new assessed value is in the mail. The city sent out reassessed property values to more than 243,000 Winnipeggers. Assessments are done every 2 years to reflect changes in the real estate market. This is not a tax bill and will not impact this year's statement. However, it will affect next year's tax bill. The assessments are considered final, but you can discuss values with city staff. The deadline to file an application to the Board of Revision is June 29th. After nearly 2 decades helping animals, Prairie Wildlife Rehab has decided this summer will be its last. The center says it helps rehabilitate more than 2,000 animals every year. The decision to wind down operations comes as the volunteer-based charity faces challenges related to funding, staffing, and the increased costs of operations. As of today, it will no longer admit new wildlife patients. Instead, officials plan to focus on caring and healing for the animals currently in its care. Canada is officially now in high-level talks with the U.S. on the future of trade between our two countries. But federal officials aren't the only negotiators making their way to Washington. Several provinces, including Manitoba, have their own trade offices in the U.S. capital. CTV's Abigail Beeman now on what, if any, impact the provinces are seeing.
Quebec, Ontario, Manitoba, and Alberta all have offices here in Washington. 3 of those provinces are right here inside the Canadian Embassy.
When half a dozen Manitobans met with U.S. officials to talk trade this week, it was a first in history.
Manitoba produces about 8.5 million pigs every year. 3 million of those are exported live into the United States. Those exports are at risk if we don't have the protection of the trade agreement.
They signaled that even though the president signed the agreement 6 years ago, he's not attached to it. So there are some irritants that need to be worked out.
Manitoba is the newest province at the embassy. Ontario and Alberta have had representatives here for 1 and 2+ decades. But in this trade war, the 4 provinces in D.C. meet bi-weekly around this table. Ontario's representative says it's been effective.
We hope that helps our federal government on things like doing trade agreements, because so many of the things that are in the American interest really rely with our the domain of the provinces.
One of the things I do is like to show them oil sands.
The reps spend a lot of time scene setting to Americans. Alberta's brings this oil sand sample to meetings. Nathan Cooper says the issue of Alberta separatism hasn't played a significant role in talks.
On occasion, I'll hear from members of Congress, more so out of an interest of like what's actually happening there. But it very quickly moves on to the key issues that we all face together, which is largely energy and agriculture.
Asked if some of Doug Ford's comments make his job harder on Capitol Hill, David Patterson says he's met with 150 Republican lawmakers and has not had a bad meeting yet. He's optimistic about a CUSMA deal, but not by July 1st.
If the United States is willing to do it, I hope they are, because I think it's in their self-interest. And so let's get it done by Labor Day.
Ontario's premier visits Washington next week. Alberta is focused on hosting U.S. lawmakers at the Calgary Stampede and beyond. Quebec didn't get back to us. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Washington.
The average price for detached homes in Winnipeg reached a new record for the month of May. The Winnipeg Regional Real Estate Board says the average price last month was just over $477,000. However, the report notes that's a 4% drop from April. While homes are selling at higher prices, the number of detached homes sold was down 4% from last year. Outside of the city, the most detached homes were sold in the Steinbach and Niverville-Richot area. Brandon University wants to find out what you wish teachers really knew about your family. The school is launching its Truth for Teachers postcard campaign. Researchers are asking community members to anonymously send them letters starting with "Something I wish I could tell the teacher." The university says anonymous letters give people a chance to openly share their thoughts.
We started it because a lot of marginalized communities and family members often experience a lot of barriers. That could be financial, that could be things like in terms of like the postcards that we've received so far. There's been talks of like not being able to afford things like a school trip.
The postcards will be used to help train teachers about possible challenges and ways to work on inclusivity. More details on how to participate can be found on storygrounds.ca.
This upgrade will create a faster, safer, and more durable running surface.
How a running track at St. James Collegiate is getting a much-needed makeover. And we'll have your complete Skywatch forecast when we return. Our first Skywatch pick of the day, this one comes from Ron in Rosenord. I know Colleen showed this earlier, but I couldn't resist. An incredible shot of some of that storm activity we saw last night. And our second one comes from Bills Lake. This is 2.5 hours straight north of Winnipeg in the Interlake. Shelley sent in this beautiful panoramic photo there. Keep on sending them in to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca. Well, compared to the last couple of nights, not a lot to show you on the Skywatch satellite tonight here in Manitoba. Just over the border in northwest Ontario. Some showers there happening tonight. The risk of thunderstorms as well. But after a tornado warning, severe thunderstorm watches and warnings, it's kind of nice to see a pretty uneventful satellite there. As for tonight here in Manitoba, clouds coming in, rolling over as we move into your Friday, and they're going to stick around for south and central Manitoba. Up north, could see a little bit of clearing, and over the border in Ontario, chance of some more showers as you move through Friday. Late Friday night, it's going to clear up for most of the province. In the Interlake, you could see some clouds, maybe some scattered showers as well. As we move into the weekend and getting into Saturday, we'll watch a little bit of a system roll through into especially western Manitoba and into the central Interlake areas as well. That chance of rain and some risk of thunderstorms once again heading through the weekend. Taking a look around the province tonight, 7 degrees in Island Lake with a chance of some rain, 6 degrees in fog in Gillam, 8 in Churchill, getting up to 21 there tomorrow under mainly cloudy skies. The rest of the region, mix of sun and cloud, a little cloudier in Island Lakes. In the northwest, chance of some rain in Norway House tonight. Temperature at 9 degrees, 10 in Flin Flon in the Paw, some fog there as well. 13 in Lynn Lake tomorrow and plenty of sunshine throughout the entire region actually. Out in West Manitoba, fog throughout the region tonight, with lows around 9 and 10 degrees, but getting up into those mid-20s tomorrow. However, cloudy skies, maybe the chance of a little bit of rain as well. Here in Winnipeg and the surrounding area, as I mentioned, some fog tonight for pretty much the entire region. Temperatures ranging 10 to 12 degrees, getting up into the low to mid-20s tomorrow, but mainly cloudy skies. Barons River could see a little bit of rain there. And as we move over into northwest Ontario, as we saw on the satellite, chance of some showers and risk of thunderstorms tonight, getting up into the mid-20s as well tomorrow under a mix of sun and cloud. And a look at your 7-day forecast. Over the weekend on Saturday, getting up to 31 here in Winnipeg, mostly sunny. 32 on Sunday. If you're heading to the Pride Parade, you're going to want to make sure you're hydrated. And then heading into next week, above seasonal temperatures right through to Wednesday. The track at St. James Collegiate is getting a major makeover. A joint agreement in principle has been reached to fund an $800,000 upgrade to the school's 400-meter outdoor running track. The asphalt base of the track is being rebuilt and a layer of rubber is being applied to the new surface.
This upgrade will create a faster, safer, and more durable running surface, one that supports physical education programming, enhances athletic training, and promotes physical literacy for all our students.
Now, there will be a bit of delay before work on the project can be started. The city is currently conducting sewage pipe tunneling work underneath the tracks, so construction likely won't begin until next summer.
Still in that push to be the #1 team in this league, right?
The Blue Bombers are back and ready to rumble. We'll get you set for their season opener next. After a run of 5 straight Grey Cup appearances, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers took a step back in 2025, but Zach Caleros and company are ready to bounce back this season. Some big free agents join a veteran core who say there is plenty left in the tank. Here's a look ahead to tomorrow night's season opener in Calgary.
All good things must come to an end, but the blue and gold aren't waving the white flag this season.
Still in that push to be the #1 team in this league, right?
Last year, for the first time since 2018, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers didn't appear in the Grey Cup. Still, Jefferson says the Bombers are ready to run it back in 2026.
How do we approach this season? Just go at it, one game at a time. That's our team mantra, 1 week at a time, and then just let the chips fall as they may, right?
The towering defensive end is part of a veteran core returning for another kick at the can. And the Bombers brass made some big splashes in free agency, too.
What stands out is how quickly they fit in.
Joining Jefferson on an already dominant defense are tackle Jake Serezna and corner Jonathan Moxey. Both come with loads of CFL experience.
They get to bring that here and then mesh that with everything that we have going here, the culture that we have here.
Meantime, the offensive line is getting a big boost. 2025 All-CFL tackle Jarrell Broxton is expected to give quarterback Zach Caleros plenty of time in the pocket.
He's one of the best in the league, if not the best. And, my job is to protect him, and I take that job real serious. Yes, sir.
Caleros and running back Brady Oliveira will keep stirring the drink on offense, and a revamped receiving core should keep defenses on their heels, with the additions of 3-time CFL All-Star Tim White and Canadian Tommy Neal.
There's a lot of veteran guys here that, I've watched in my time being in the league, and just excited to work with them.
The Winnipeg Blue Bombers kick off their quest for the Grey Cup Friday night in Calgary.
I like our guys. I like the way we went through camp. I like how hard they worked.
Daniel Halmerson, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Kickoff in Calgary is slated for 8 p.m. Central, and you can catch all the action on TSN. Still to come, how Manitoba's newest millionaire plans to spend his newfound fortune. And we'll break down tomorrow's forecast next.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&Teak Spa Salon.
A look at your Friday forecast. 14 degrees in the morning, mostly cloudy, getting up to 23 late afternoon under a mix of sun and cloud. Well, the winner of the largest Lotto 649 jackpot in our province's history came forward today to collect his big check. Earl Giesbrecht is $46 million richer tonight. He bought the winning ticket for the May 16th Lotto 649 Gold Ball draw from First Stop Grocers in Whitemouth, Manitoba. And when the 70-year-old found out about his big win, he tells us he felt like he might have the big one.
My thoughts went to my children underway and my grandchildren, that I would help them in life. That's more important, my children, than anything else.
Giesbrecht plans to use his winnings to help out his children, pay off his ex-wife's mortgage, and maybe consider retiring. He's only semi-retired right now. His advice to wannabe winners is simple: just buy a ticket. And in case you're curious, the second largest jackpot won in Manitoba was $27.5 million and happened almost exactly 5 years ago. Kind of thought the check would be a little bit bigger for $46 million, but good on you, Earl. Congratulations. That's going to do it for us tonight. Now tune in tomorrow. We'll see you back here. Thanks for watching. Good night.